Okay, all of my dear students who are appearing in O-Level English 1123 exam tomorrow, and especially for your writing paper, that is your paper 2. Hopefully you would all have prepared well for your exam. You would have prepared all the things and would have struggled a lot. But what you can do at these last hours when your paper is tomorrow, so here are few things. Let's first have a quick revision of the whole syllabus, what we have in the paper, and during this I will give you some things that you can do right now at these last hours. So in writing, we, as you know, we have two sections. The first is the directed writing, and the second is narrative or descriptive writing, as you have a choice. So the first is the directed writing task. In directed writing, you have two texts, text A and text B. You have to evaluate the information in the text. Now keep it in your mind in exam. Don't refer to the text in your response. Don't say like text A says this or text B says this. This is not the evaluation of the content points. Just read both texts very carefully, and you can annotate the text, you can highlight the points, and you can use then those points not as it is, but you had to evaluate them. So your tone should be evaluating one, because this is an evaluative task, and it requires a lot of both reading and writing skills. For reading, you need, for example, you have 1 hour in total for directed writing question. So you can spend 10 to 12 minutes just to explore the text A and text B. In most of the cases, you will have both texts opposing each other. They will have counter arguments. So if text A speaks in favor of something, text B is against them. Also consider about the writer of both texts. For example, if writer of text A is a teenager and writer of text B is an elderly man, of course it will have an impact on their attitude towards a particular topic. Young people might have a different perspective on the use of social media and these type of stuff. Some parents might have different perspective on the use of social media for teenagers. So the writer's context and the background also affects their opinions, thoughts, that is their attitude towards a particular topic. That's why in your directed writing section in both text A and B, you will have the writer's age and name and this type of background that you can use while evaluating to their points. So when you will be writing the response, you have to write 250 to 350 words. In your response, you should say something like some say, others think. This type of phrases you should use rather than saying text A says or text B says. And also, when you say some people might think, in brackets you can add mostly the teenagers. Because if the text from which you are taking that point is written by a teenager, it shows that teenage, in that age people can have these point of views. And when you are saying but others might think, and you are taking that point from text B that is written by a parent, so you can give that background in brackets, mostly the parents. So this will be a good way to evaluate the text. Now there are two things in directed writing question section. The one thing is successfully evaluating the text. The other thing is maintaining the structure and format of the writing task that you are having. For example, if you are writing a report, try to use passive voice structure, because report is a mixture of fact and opinion. You are going to explore the events and attitudes you are presenting in your reports, and you are presenting the facts as they are, as they happened, what happened, where happened, what you learned, blah blah blah. And then the other thing is that how you will be giving your own opinion in the form of recommendation and suggestions. So for recommendation and suggestions, you should have good grammatical structures, how to give recommendation and suggestions at the end of report in such a way that doesn't show your subjectivity, but you are saying that particular thing in favor of all, in favor of other people as well. You are presenting a community, not just you. Although in the reports you address a particular person, but reports are a public document. They will be used by the management, by the authority person, other people as well, for their personal use. And people will make decisions based on those documents. So you should maintain objectivity. Reports should be unbiased. Use passive voice structure. If you have not watched, also you can watch my video and you can revise your other vocabulary collections and structural collections about how to give recommendations and suggestions at the end of your report. And if you are writing an article, of course, you should have a catchy title for that. Your article can be like informative or persuasive, but the tone should be semi-formal. Report should be highly formal, and then there can be letter or email. It depends whether it's formal or informal. You will be using greetings and salutations and sign offs accordingly in valediction, like with love and then your name. You can either use yours faithfully and then your name. Depends on formal and informal language that you will be using. If you are writing a letter to a friend, it will have a different language. If you are writing a letter to your boss or someone in authority, so it will be language would be different. Then comes the speech. Like in letter and email and report, your audience is not immediate one. When it will reach the person you are sending to, of course he or she will be reading that. But in speech you have an immediate audience. But in exam writing, speech is different. In real life you verbally deliver the speech, so you will imagine an imaginary immediate audience, the people who are sitting in front of you. Just imagine that and use language accordingly. That should give an impact, that the way like you are directly referring to the addressee. You should be given a reference to the audience, like all my classmates. I am from that class, as you know. Now, as you know, term shows your intimacy with the class fellows and give the real context of the speech. So whether it be the speech, it be the report writing, letter writing, email writing, try to follow the format. If you don't know the format, see the sample responses for past papers issued by Cambridge, or read the sample response in Cambridge endorsed book. You will find the content in unit number 7 about directed writing, report, email, all this stuff. And you will find content sample responses for descriptive writing in unit number 8, and for narrative writing read unit number 9 of your Cambridge endorsed book. Two things you can now you need to spend time on: revising all your vocabulary, your structures, your formats, and revising and looking at the Cambridge sample responses given in the Cambridge book, and also by the Cambridge past papers how the students wrote their response, because you will find the Cambridge students responses with best average and below average, like with different marks and evaluation of the examiner's comments. If you don't have those files, you can contact me to get them. Just have a look at them, and in these last hours also have a quick look at your vocabulary files, the descriptive vocabulary, for example, to be used in descriptive writing. And also you need this vocabulary in your narrative writing to describe characters, situations, atmosphere, and other things. So revise your descriptive writing vocabulary for both purposes. Even if you are not going to attempt descriptive writing, still you need that descriptive vocabulary. I have already uploaded my video containing vocabulary on describing words, and also a video on with the notes on how to describe the feelings and emotions of characters. Now this feeling vocabulary will help you a lot create and give emotions, real life emotions to your characters in your narrative writing tasks. So if you feel good at narrative writing, you can go for that. If you feel good at descriptive writing, you can go for that. You will of course have 25 marks for this. You have to choose one. And in directed writing too, you have 25 marks. In directed writing, you have to write between 250 to 350 words. In descriptive or narrative writing, you have to choose one, and you have to write 350 to 450 words. So these were the few things you can do at the last hours to get your preparation at the maximum level and have the high score. Keep in your mind that in email writing, do not add subject line or those type of address. And also, but in letter writing, sometimes they can ask you to do this, but if you're not asked to do so, don't add this in your letter writing as well. If you have any further question, you can ask me just before the exam time. Wish you best of luck for your exam tomorrow. Just the day before your reading paper, we will upload another short video about how to do a quick revision of your reading paper. Goodbye, take care, wish you best of luck.